Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also, for your cross watchers, what is going on with my voice? Why does it sound so weird? Does it sound weird to you guys? So I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your crosswatchers. Also for the people who are here without any Pisces anything. And y'all are probably empaths. You probably have a soul that's been trying to talk to you for a while. Time to hear it. All right. So hold on really quick. Un momento, por favor. Um, uh, All right. So let's get started. Sorry, I had to respond to that because it was important. Más importante. I burned my effing finger. I burned my finger. All right, guys. All right. It doesn't sound weird. Okay. Sounds weird to me. It sounds weird to me. I don't know. I don't know. My stream is fragmented. My energy is all over the place. Pisces, it's time for you to take back what's rightfully yours and push through. I'm not talking about harming someone. I'm talking about giving yourself permission to what is going on with my head and everything. Giving yourself permission to just be really, really happy. No, I did not get a text. Um, Time to take things back. Just really, really time. It's a time. It's a mori. Where here it is. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. How do you guys feel after last night's revocation ceremony? How you guys feel? Are you feeling good? You feeling light? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do this. All right, card number 9. What do you feel? What do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like um do you guys feel like maybe you're, maybe you're ready. Maybe you're ready to take your life to the next level. Maybe you are ready to go ahead and start some project, get some work done, allow things that make you happy in a healthy way into your life. You know, what do you feel? Are you holding on to the orange? Or are you holding on to the apple? More importantly, which is the apple and which is the orange? What does each represent? Do you even know what you are holding on to and comparing and, whatever it is you're doing? Card number 37, focus on the light. Usually we focus on the light when what? When we're surrounded by darkness. So this is telling me there's going to be some dark times. Maybe the dark times are not things that are external from you. Maybe these dark times that you're going to be possibly experiencing as a Piscean or an empath have more to do with shadow work, have more to do with you um, finally allowing yourself to understand who you are. Many of us don't understand who we are. Many of us don't know who we are, don't understand who we are, have not been open to doing the work to get those answers. Um, it's time. It's really, really time. Card number 38, restore and replenish. Remember, these periods that you go through um, these periods that you go through that are very like challenging and difficult, periods that make you feel like you're being torn down. Um, these are the things that are tearing down and tearing away your resistance to your own path. It's time for you to allow yourself to really, really get back on your path. What would you lose by honoring yourself? Many of us have this thing of like, oh, I can't say that, I can't do that because, if I do, so and so will never talk to me again, will never speak to me again. But if you be who you are, if you share your needs, if you voice your struggles or concerns, they're never going to talk to you again. And if they don't, what's the loss in that? What are you losing? Someone who doesn't allow you and support you in your attempt to be who you are. Exactly. You should be so blessed. Exactly. Every time I've lost someone, every time I've lost a group, um, because maybe they didn't understand me, maybe they didn't agree with me, maybe this, maybe that, it's given me more space to be who I actually am. I really invite you guys to watch um, live streams on Facebook from 2 years ago. My Facebook page is Emmie Evolving, same as my channel here on YouTube. Watch those videos from 2, 3 years ago. Notice the difference in who I am. Notice the relief in me just being me now. I don't have to choke myself up just so I don't say things that might, people might get offended. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I can just be me. I can be an even more powerful testament to the truth of my authenticity. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you finally getting to a point where you appreciate yourself. There will be people in this world, many more who are like this than the other, but these type of people are not okay with you being free. They are not okay with you being sovereign. They are not okay with you actually truly living. Most people, most people are not okay with you not following the program. Who cares? They can do the program without you. They've been doing the program without you. So who cares at this point? Do you really, really need everyone's acceptance and embrace? Because the people who need you to do the program, they tend to be the very people who don't actually tell you what's up, how they feel towards you, what they think about you, um, their condemnations of you. I mean, the way I see it, and this is just my personal view, I may have assholish behavior, sometimes elevated assholishness, um, but at least you always know where you stand with me. I feel like the fact that you always know where you stand with me, that kind of frees you to just be who you are, you know? It makes it possible for you to be you. How many of you feel inspired to just be yourself at this point, where you don't have to hide, where you finally found this sacred space that's called an Emmy Evolving live stream? You found this sacred space where you could say anything in the comments. You could share anything about your life experience, and you're not weird. You're not crazy. You're not making it up, imagining things where you actually feel like you belong. You actually feel like, if there was ever a place where I could go to share about how I just saw an apparition. I just heard a disembodied voice speaking to me. How my dream um came true. I'd like to think that it would be here where you wouldn't have to face condemnation um just because what? You don't do you don't do what? What other people tell you to do? No, you don't have to do that here. Sorry, guys. How to answer that. Um, Card number 15, big bold vision. It's time for you to see yourself in a different way. It's time for you to see yourself as this ridiculously powerful being. Powerful because you don't need to dominate. You don't need to prove. You don't need to do anything but just exist. How powerful is that? To be able to just simply exist. I don't have to prove anything. My value is determined by me. And whatever that value is, um, if people agree, they agree. If they don't, they don't. But this is my value. I will never allow myself to be bargain basement. I will never allow myself to allow other people to convince me that I'm less than what I actually believe myself to be. The fact is this, you guys. So many of us, especially the empaths and the Pisceans, okay? Um, so many of us already struggle with such deep insecurities, insecurities about ourself, about our life, about our value, about everything. So many different insecurities at so many different depths. Yet we're allowing other people to add more. Why? 'Cause I did that for a short period. Well, no, 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 no. Let's be honest here. Um, let's be really, really honest here. I didn't do that for a short period. I did that for my entire life up until I got sick and tired of people's bullshit. I got sick and tired of it. My entire time on Facebook, I spent that entire however many years um, trying to cater to everyone's needs. So hard. I tried so hard to cater to everyone's needs. I gave away all of my income. I kept only what my family needed for the basic necessities, and then I gave the rest away. In addition to that, like literally giving money away. In addition to that, I also did a shit ton of completely free work to people who just really didn't appreciate it. So what did I gain from that? What, knowing that people suck and they just use you? No. What did I gain from that? A lot. A lot of learning, a lot of empowerment, a lot of just this knowing that no matter how I exist, no matter how much I try and kiss everyone's ass, that won't be enough because I set the bar in regards to how much people will expect me to overgive. I determine that. And the more I overgive, the more they will expect. The more they expect, the more I feel obligated to overgive. And the more I overgive, the more they're going to expect, which further obligates me to give even more. Why? I mean, am I just like getting this money, this time, this energy, this knowing out of thin air that I can just give it away like that? More importantly, that question of why do people think it's okay to continue to receive things from me, right? More important than that question is whatever made me think that I had to do that? That's right. I recognized my differences. I recognized that I'm such a unique individual with a very unique set of skills. And because I'm so different from everyone else, um, I have to be sorry. And the only way to atone for my elevation in gifts, in skills, in power is to forever punish myself, is to forever, forever, forever be unfair with myself. Everything that I work for, work real hard for, working 50, maybe sometimes 60 hours a week, no day off ever. Um, yeah, no, I should be sorry for that. Like, I need to make up for that. I need to give it all away. And this also applies to energy. I have to give all my energy away. I have to be able to give people my knowledge base whenever they ask. I have to give it away because I have to make up for the fact that I'm knowledgeable. I mean, does that make sense? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Now that I've grown beyond certain levels of internal toxicity, it no longer makes sense to me. What's mine is mine. What I worked for is mine. And I don't have to be apologetic for earning what I have. I don't have to be apologetic for that. I no longer feel that I have to be apologetic for existing. Who am I apologizing to? Who should I apologize to for existing? The people I help? The people I inspire? Should I say sorry to the people who feel empowered by sharing space with me? Should I say sorry for all the people that benefit from the taxes that I pay for the income that's documented and therefore taxed? Who should we say sorry to? Who is it that we feel we need to apologize to because of the fact that we were born? Exactly. Absolutely no one. Yet we continue to do this through our actions and our attack of ourselves. We continue to allow ourselves to attack ourselves because why? Because we can. So if you have the power and the authority to attack yourself because you can, um, don't you also have the power and the authority to lift yourself up because you can? Don't you also have the power and the authority to heal yourself because you can? Hmm. Well, if you're doing things because you can, why don't you start doing things in a positive manner for yourself because you can? Um, I think I would get offended if I ever heard someone apologize for being who they are, despite doing the same thing almost my entire life. That's the funniest thing. It's that the things we do to ourselves, we would never, ever, ever be okay doing that to someone else or even simply watching someone else do that to someone else. Like some of the things that I've said to myself, and especially in the way that I've said it, if I ever heard someone else tearing another person down when they're already feeling so low, if I ever saw that in front of me, knowing who I am, I would probably punch the shit out of their face and then slap them several times. I probably would. And I wouldn't even know what happened until after everything happened. Like, that would be such a knee jerk reaction. Like, I could never allow someone else to be treated that way without me actually getting all up in that mix with no regard for myself and my safety. I would totally, totally. I mean, that's happened already where swear I heard something. I look around and at the mall. What the fuck did you say to her? Yeah, because that's who I am. Do I have to be ashamed of that? I mean, it's not something to be proud of. But no, I don't have to be ashamed of the very fact that I will defend you without knowing you. I would be your voice without knowing what needs to be said. That part of my purpose is to do that. Yet I can't do that for myself. What the fuck? I can't do that for myself. Well, guess what? Shock of the new. Card number 6, shock of the new. It's time for you to be your own sunflower. It's time for you to be your own source of inspiration, your own source of light during sunless skies. Why do we always have to search for someone outside of us to light up our world when the truth of our light resides very, very deep within us? Look, Pisceans and empaths, we have a tendency to shut down. When the world challenges us, when circumstance attempts to destroy us, we allow ourselves to sink so, so deep into ourselves. And then we're ashamed of that. What if? What if the reason we dive deep into ourselves during those challenging periods is because, on some level, we know that's where our light actually is? On some level, I have some knowing that there is this tremendously beautiful, powerful light buried deep, deep, deep inside me. Well, why is it buried, Emmy? Well, because I'm still working through the process of giving myself permission to shine. Has nothing to do with anyone else. I, for much of my life, have sought out the very people who would refuse to allow me to shine because I was afraid of my own light. I am not a victim. People have tried to victimize me. They've tried. Silly ass motherfuckers. They've tried. You can't victimize someone who refuses to be a victim. Why do I not partake in the forgiveness program? Is it because I like to hold grudges and I'm never going to forgive you and blah, 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 blah? No, I don't need to forgive you. You don't need my apology. I don't need your apology. We need to understand we all contribute to each other's growth. And most importantly, in order for me to participate in that, I have to identify myself as a victim. In order to determine who needs forgiveness and who should be doing forgiving, you have to identify a victim and an aggressor. I'm going to forgive you because you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really know the effects. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. I'm going to forgive you, okay? In order for me to do that, I have to first recognize, take an account of how much you've done to me, all the ways in which you have made me into your victim. I don't fucking think so. I refuse. I refuse. I will never identify as your victim. I don't care what you do. I have a very deep and intimate knowing. The people who are brought into my life, for good or bad reasons, the people who are brought into my life, you're allowed to approach me and share space with me because my soul allows it. It's not because you've dominated me. It's not because you've tricked me. It's because my powerful soul has given you a day pass, a week pass, a month pass, a year pass, a lifetime pass to enter into my kingdom. You have no power here but that which my soul gives you with grace. You are here for a job, to teach me either through kindness and compassion or adversity and struggle. You will be assisting me in reaching the next level of awareness. That is all. You are not here because you are so powerful and you broke through my defenses. I gave you permission. That means the most powerful being in my life will always be me. I will never identify as your victim. You don't ever have to identify as someone's victim, no matter what they've done. You don't have to when you continue to choose to. That gets you into some really dark, really dense places. Now, just because I don't identify as your victim does not mean I do not hold you accountable for your behaviors. Yeah, I will still hold you accountable for your behavior. Just because my soul allowed you access to me to create some kind of difficult, painful circumstance to grow me does not mean I'm going to pretend like you never did anything to me. You still made that choice to help me learn this in a very malicious fucking way. If you have that in you, I just need to see that one time. I'm not repeating that lesson again. Are you kidding me? No, I am not repeating that lesson again. You can continue to be who you are, very, very far away from me. We think that once someone shows us who they are, oh, they just made a mistake. No, that seemed pretty calculated. Uh, I think they ran that through their head several times, worked out all the mistakes, and then implemented it. Oh, that now they've learned not to, not to do that to me. Uh, no, I'm pretty sure they learned that even if they did do that, you'd still forgive them. I'm a psychic. Most people, that's what they think. That's what they think. Most people. If you let them get away with something really, really heinous, they'll probably do it again, amplified. They'll probably take it to a whole nother level. Because guess what? Remember how we were talking about how our soul allows people to access us to help us learn certain things? Well, if you didn't learn it at level one, your soul's going to crank up the intensity. We're going to level two. Please fasten your seatbelt. Keep your hands and arms inside the cart at all times. We're about to fuck shit up. You don't learn it there. Okay, crank it up to three. This bitch really don't want to learn right now. Crank it up. Okay, you don't want to learn at three. Crank it up to four. Crank it all the way fucking up. Break the knob off. Keep at it until she learns. I mean, this is what I've always seen my soul to do. Oh, oh, you think you have sovereign free will like that, Emmie, where you can just deny your soul's purpose? This girl needs a lesson. Send her one, please. Oh, oh, Emmie. Oh, someone told you you can void contracts. Oh, honey, all the contracts you've signed in this lifetime are Peladorian. Those are non negotiable, irrevocable. You're going through this. And I found that when I just allow myself to go through it and allow myself to learn, allow myself to be fully present and observe, sometimes detaching that emotion, the emotional component, um, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. And it finishes a lot faster. Mind you, this is not me submitting to another person. This is me recognizing I'm needing to submit to the will of my soul. Huge difference. People might be used as a delivery system, but they are not your soul. They are not your soul. Ooh, Michael's bringing up this thing, this thought of like, sometimes, wow, this one's intense. Sometimes when we refuse to receive our own messages and therefore create um, doubt, self doubt, um, people might be brought to us. And I mean, it might even go so far as to like unsolicited, your soul gave me a message to give to you. Bitch, please. We don't fucking play telephone like that. Me and my soul, we speak direct. I've said in the past, I don't listen to my higher self, I can't hear it, which is true, but it's only half the truth. I don't need to hear it and communicate with it in that way, where it's this perceived conversation. No, I feel it. I feel it deeply. I feel it and I just know because we're still very much connected. I don't want to hear what she has to say. That's fine. I'll see it. I'll feel it. I'll know it. I just know it. And yeah, I have to go through a process to release my disbelief in the fact that I know and I know accurately. That still doesn't negate the experience. That still doesn't negate the reality of how my process works. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has the same process. We all strive to hear our higher selves. That connection is rightfully yours. Take it back. Feel it. See it. Know it. Fuck this over, like, we have such an emphasis on using the two primary senses, sight and sound. Who cares? Okay, let's take a look here. We have Stevie Wonder. Okay, this is just such a blatant example. Stevie Wonder. He's blind. He plays the piano. No way he could be skilled. You need your eyes to see the piano. You need your eyes to read the notes and see the keys because you can't play the piano unless you do. As a kid, I thought he was faking. As a young kid, I thought he was faking. I thought he was faking until I started piano lessons. Apparently, I can play by sound. I don't need the notes. I just need to hear it and feel it. And with my eyes closed, I know exactly where my fingers need to go, and I can play whatever song you play. Whatever song I hear, it can come right out of my fingers as long as I feel it. As long as I feel it. And it's not even the feeling of the sound, it's not even like an emotion. It's something so far beyond what I could possibly express, what I could articulate with human concepts. They're so limited. It's just this feeling outside of me, inside of me, outside, above the below, below the above, just something. And when I allow myself to get into this place where that music is beautiful, and that thing that I can't quite explain goes down my arms from my heart and out my fingers, and it suddenly is a dance on ivory. And suddenly I'm playing the song that's been etched into my heart. That's kind of how you communicate with your higher self. It's not, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong. Who knows? Um, Michael says, and I'm an antagonist. uh, he says you're such an antagonist. Um, he wants me to explain to you every time I say I might be wrong, there's a potentiality that I actually mean the opposite. And every time I repeat that phrase within one frame of mind, I might be wrong. It actually elevates the level of accuracy. And it's not a lie. 72% at 827. 72827. 7 is the number of completion that leads you to the guidance that merges all your parts, that then leads you to a higher level of completion. 7 plus 2 is 9, 8. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9, 8, 9. The merger flanked by divinity. This process is supported by creation. This process of remembering your language, this process of hearing once again with your heart the song that comes in your heart, this song that lives there. Do we even know what our heart is singing to us? For most of us, we block out that heart song because we've allowed life to hurt us in such a way that all it sings now are songs of lamentation. And we just don't want to hear it. What don't you want to hear? The process of you grieving? You're grieving a life that has disrespected and disregarded your sovereignty the entire time. Up until you got to the point where you realized you are a sovereign and that you should defend your sovereignty, um, you lament. Hold on. I'm being told to check. Define grieving. Um, cause great distress. Let's see. Middle English, also in the sense harm, oppress, from Old French, graver, burden, encumber, based on Latin gravare, from gravis, heavy, grave. Hmm. Grief, the normal process of reacting to a loss. Emotional reactions of grief can include anger, guilt, anxiety, sadness, and despair. How many of you feel those emotions regularly? 7 stages of grief: shock and denial, pain and guilt, anger and bargaining, depression. Do you realize you've been living a life of grieving, expressed in so many different ways, because we refuse to hear any of the ways in which our heart is speaking to us? A peaceful existence is rightfully yours. Take it back, own it. Take ownership of your life. You own your peace. You own it. You don't have to ask for someone's permission. You don't have to wait for someone to deliver it to your door, beautifully packaged and ribboned. Um, when was the last time someone did that? Probably never. Probably never. All right. Card number 12. Water, the overflow. We're so focused on emptying the cup, we forget to let it overflow. Unless that overflow is toxic, we have a tendency to not allow it. You ever notice that? You ever notice how easy it is for us to allow ourselves to the toxicity to the point where we allow that toxicity to enter the density of flesh and become physiological pathology, disease? Why do we do that? It really irritates me when I do that. Years ago, I took on the pain of everyone in my life. I took ownership of it because I wanted to save them from the pain. I wanted to fix everything. I went out of my way for a very long time, overly accommodating ridiculousness, taking ownership of problems that were not mine, that I had no business, no right to involve myself in. For years, I did this. And then you know what happened? Because these were people that, like, oh my God, you're like family to me. I'm going to fix this for you. You know what happened? A lot of things that resonate with that family patterning, whether they're biological family or not, is irrelevant. When that patterning shifts into a place of like an overlay of familial frequency, that involves the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is tied to your reproductive organs. I took on all the pain of the people I love like family. And you know what happened? They were still miserable in their life. Wasn't able to do anything because as I solved that problem, they go ahead and either invite or create another problem. That's fine. I can't do anything about that. By the time I came to this realization, guess what? I grew a thumb sized tumor on my cervix. Why? What was the point of doing that? Did I make anyone else's life better? No. They still continued to go through the cycles they were going through because they weren't ready to move forward from that. They were still learning from that. So they continued to go through that, right? I didn't solve anything, I didn't stop anything. How did that benefit my life? Well, I benefited by growing a big ass fucking tumor on my cervix. That taught me real good. That taught me real good. Um, I was pregnant at the time, early stage pregnancy. Yeah. So I could have either allowed my fear to get the best of me, and I'm not giving medical advice, I'm just speaking on my experience. I could have allowed my fear to get the best of me and allow for a biopsy and then be told something potentially bad and be told treatment plans that I would refuse. And in addition to that, because even if it was cancerous, I'd refuse treatment because I was pregnant. There was no way I was going to do that to my unborn child. In addition to that, the moment you touch my cervix when I'm pregnant, the entire time I'm pregnant, you will induce preterm labor. So, no, you're not touching my cervix. Leave that extra thumb alone. No, I don't want biopsies. I don't want anything. I'm not afraid. I will carry this baby to term. After I give birth, after my child no longer needs to live within the environment of a fear filled body, you can then allow me to be fearful. I'll let you cut up whatever the fuck you want to cut up. I'll let you biopsy whatever the fuck you want. I'll let you draw as much blood as you want. I really don't give a fuck. But you're going to shut the fuck up while I'm pregnant. I actually had to have this conversation with my doctor. I had to talk her down from her own edge. It's going to be okay. We are all okay. She needed me to be afraid with her, and I refused. I'm going to need you to calm down. I'm not sure why I'm asking you to calm down when I'm the pregnant one with a tumor. So if you could just calm down. I had to have these conversations with her every single prenatal appointment. And because I was a high risk grand multip, meaning I've had so many children, I'm just high risk. Um, yeah, I had to see her every week. Every week I was exposed to this. And every time I was exposed to this, it's okay. Whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen to me, and I'm not going to be afraid. Like I said, after I give birth to this child, I'll join you in that fear. But until then, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to surround my unborn child with fear. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I'm carrying this baby to term. And guess what, you guys? Guess what? Through this entire process, what did I learn? What created that tumor in the first place? Me taking what wasn't mine. Me taking ownership of other people's struggle and pain and fear and anger and all this shit. Like, none of that is mine. None of it. And this entire pregnancy, I just realized that now. I never allowed her fear to enter me. So, come time to give birth, thank God she fucking was off. Thank God she was off that day. I instead labored and was delivered by another doctor. This assholeish man who really had no emotion. Thank you. Straight up fucking Chandler Bing birthed my child. So yeah, He confirmed right before active labor began that there was a huge tumor on my cervix. He physically, visually confirmed this tumor. And then I gave birth, and I was like, what was my promise? I'll be afraid after I give birth because I don't want to surround my child with that. So after I gave birth, I was fucking afraid. Am I going to die now? I waited a whole fucking 9 months. They found it at the start of my pregnancy, 3 weeks. Am I going to die now? I still had 2 weeks to go before I had to go see for my postnatal appointment. And I cried. I cried and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm going to fucking die. And then after a day, I was like, I'm not going to fucking die. I own my decision. I'm not fucking dying. I'm not here to die. I didn't just give birth to a child to abandon that child. I'm not fucking dying. And so that was that. That was the end of the conversation for me. I've made my decision. I'm not going down that path. It's going to magically be gone. Whatever the fuck needs to happen, I'm not dying. And so 2 weeks go by and I go to the doctor and she's like, Mommy, will you please now let me do, yeah, biopsy, whatever the fuck you want. Take the whole cervix for all I care. Yeah. She goes and does the exam and the tumor's gone. I mean, this crazy ass Russian woman, she had a really thick Russian accent. She was very young. And she's in between my legs and she puts her hands on my knee. She goes, Mommy? I was like, what? It's gone. Okay. Isn't that what we want? It's gone. Right. And then she requested to take the biopsy and he was fine. Go ahead and confirm for yourself. It's gone. So whatever. And then she comes back. She has me come back in a few days later. She's like, what did you do? Did you do the cannabis? No, I don't do any of that. Besides, it's still illegal in California. At that time, it was illegal. I'm not going to fucking admit to that, even if I am. But no, I wasn't. And she was in tears because she shows me the results. She took several biopsies and did a leap. She cut off the entire tip of my cervix. Zero abnormality. Not even dysplasia. Nothing. Yeah, because other people's pain is not mine. And I refuse to own it anymore. I refuse. And then when people come to me now and they, oh, you're so cold, you don't care. Oh, I care. I just don't own your pain. I will not die for you. I will not suffer through a rotting body to take ownership of a pain you're going to invite right back, anyways. I will not join you there. And I won't be apologetic. And no, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because I don't wish you to hurt. You choose to. That is not my decision. I have no power over that. So I remain neutral and I remain empowered within my own space. When I make a decision, it is mine. When you make your decision, it is yours. Take ownership of your life. You are the one cultivating the type of life you are living, not someone else. If you need to tell someone how someone else is preventing you from living, how someone else is keeping you from escaping your circumstance, from standing up, from whatever it is you're saying someone else is doing, I'm not the right person to talk to about that because I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to hold that with you. You are where you are because you choose to be. Now, am I saying you deserve to hurt? No. I'm recognizing this is a choice you made. And I have to respect that. Leaving toxic circumstance is quite possibly the most painful, most scary, most difficult thing to do. And I'm here to tell you, you're fucking worth that fight. You are worth that fight. Could you just imagine the level of growth empowerment that you will receive from your own hands when you choose to go through this, when you choose anything that keeps trying to convince you that this is all you deserve. Yep. You choose what you have time for. You choose what you have time for. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I have time for a lot of that. That lot of that, helping people, empowering people, loving myself enough to know my boundaries, taking my health and making it a priority, making my family my utmost priority, respecting what my purpose is, complying with the requests of my soul. Yeah, I like that there. This over here, where I'm going to join you in your misery, in your disempowerment. We're just going to sit there for hours and talk about how this shit sucks, but you choose not to do anything about it. Uh, Continuing to put myself in situations that, what? And I found this to be what happens a lot, especially when I was a lot younger. I'll go out of my way to really, really help someone, only to have them to return to that really shitty circumstance. And I'm the problem. Battered wife syndrome, look it up. And it just doesn't just happen to women. Battered wife syndrome. Has life battered you and caused battered person syndrome, where all the toxicity from the entirety of your life, you will defend it just like the battered wife does as she experiences a flaring of her syndrome. Where as soon as she's right there, about to exit, she's right there at the finish line. I mean, that thingy is right at her chest. That tape, whatever the fuck it is right at her chest. She just needs to lean forward and she's done. Oh no. No, 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 no. She's not going to lean forward. She's going to stop right where she's at. She's going to look for you specifically. And she's going to blame you. She's going to attack you because she loves him. I had to learn that quite a few times. They don't need a friend. They need distance. Sometimes what we need to take ownership of is our own space, our own ability to decide for ourselves what we need. Not what we need to do for other people, but what we need. I've gotten to a point in my life, I need peace more than I need anything. I need my peace. Because my peace, it sustains my health. I need me. I need a healthy version of me. No more. No more. I can't do that with people anymore. I'm taking back what is rightfully mine. Have you been giving away things that you shouldn't have given away? 88% at 846, 53, 33, 62, 43, 46, 73. What the fuck? Let's see what the button says. Let's see what the button says. 77, 846, 312, 2. Let's see what the iPad says. Oh my God. This is just speaking all kind of shit to me. Hold on. Let's see. So 847, 312, 81, 126,253, 14,402, 29, 590, 12, and 4. Fuck yeah. That's empowerment. That's like, keep going, girl, keep going. Creation supports this. Creation is a very breath that you are using to speak into being the kind of change that will free people from the shackles they continue to maintain. Fuck yes, 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 yes. I have been baking cookies for those who rob me. They're not robbing you if you're giving it away. Let that really sink in. Is someone using me if I'm offering? If I'm volunteering? If I'm insisting? Are you using me? No, you're not. So, card number 9, crown chakra, the unlimited self. It's time to enter into the crown while you root yourself in this life, bringing the two together for the most beautiful merger you could possibly ever experience in this life. That merger, that coveted merger point that we keep talking about in spiritual circles, has nothing to do with twins, has to do with your masculine and feminine. You have both. You have both. So, card number 46, Starseer. Allow yourself to see, allow yourself to climb, allow yourself to feel how that climb feels. And this card absolutely reminds me of a conversation I had with Michael years ago. Comes up every once in a while. This card came up in this deck. I think that's why he wanted me to pull this deck. Maybe, hold on. So, this card came out, and I was having a conversation with him over it. And he tells me it's not enough to see, to know that you come from stars. Because really, what are we made of? Stardust. It's romantic, isn't it? So Piscean. Anyways, we're made of stardust, right? And he tells me it's not enough. It's not enough to know what you're made of. It's time. It's really time for you to take your rightful place among them. It's time for you to take your rightful place among the stars. I got to find that card. Are you prepared to go through the process that you will need to go through? Here it is. Abracadabra. Card number 34, abracadabra. 3 is a solid foundation from which to place the self, leading to completion. This was a card. He said it's not enough for you to remember that you're made of stars. It's time to take your rightful place among them. And of course I cried. I was like, I don't want to be seen. I'm sorry, baby girl. You signed the contracts. You're stuck. You have to. You have to. You have to, or you can enjoy suffering needlessly for as long as you choose not to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, card number 24, evolution. It's time to evolve. It's time to evolve into whoever it is you've always been, but have allowed life to convince you you aren't. So, there's this video on TikTok regarding God, the term God. Um, there's this one woman. I think she might be pagan or something. I don't remember, but she's like really dry in her delivery, and I love it. And she just spits so much esoteric truth. And there was someone who was talking about, "Don't you take my Lord's name in vain," and blah 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 blah. "Don't you use my Lord's name, my God's name." And then she starts talking about the term God is actually a label. It's not the name. The name of God was so sacred that it was only allowed to be said once a year during Yom Kippur, and only by the highest priest in the temple. And to maintain that sanctity of the name of God, they began referring to God as Elohim, which is not the name. Elohim, that's God. So what's God to you? What's God to you? Concept that man created, or something you can feel? Something you don't understand and you cannot prove, but you just know. You just know there is this thing. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's this thing. And then it's and then the thing, and then the thing, and then the thing. And there's no way I can't believe in the thing because it's this thing. I do not believe in Elohim. I believe in the thing that breathed into being the audible tone of Melchizedek, the root origination of my soul. I don't care what humans teach. I only value now that which my soul gives back to me: the knowing, the memories, the feelings, the abilities. I went from being this person who was so deathly afraid that people would know how different I am, the gravity of my differences, heaven fucking forbid, burn me at the stake already. Oh my God. Uh, yeah. And when people who were sensitive to energy, because I was still trying to pretend I'm normal, when they would identify me, and a few called me a white witch. I'm like, what? Did you call me a bitch? No, a white witch. What? What the fuck do you mean by that? Are you mad at me? True convo. Are you mad at me? What's wrong? What did I do? Why are you mad at me? No, I called you a white witch. That's a good thing. No, it's not. Why would you call me a witch? Because, baby boo, you are. You may not identify as one, but whatever you identify as does not negate the fact that that's the blood that runs through your veins. That is you. Mhm. You are who you are. Whether you want to acknowledge it, whether you want to live up to it, whether you want to allow other people to see it, it's really irrelevant. You are who you are. Because we used to burn bitches, now we just cancel them online. Oh, and no, unless you have the witch aesthetic, which is different than actual being a witch. Yeah. If I'm to identify as something, I would say I would go with my native people's Baba Yan, um, shamanic smorgasbord. Let's end this reading. I'm done. I'm done. I'll show you guys something. Oh, Michael said no. Okay, I'm for real done. I was gonna show you guys a I have selenite from Poseidon's temple. I don't know if you understand the gravity of what the fuck I just said. I have selenite from Poseidon's temple. Figure that one out. Figure that one out. That's what I was gonna show you guys, but Michael said no. That's fine. That's fine. How did the candles burn last night? They burned all the way. Hold on. Look. It's stuck to my board. They literally burned all the way. Oh, that is so potent. Oh, I blew it away. Sorry. The heart. Oh, well, now I really fucked it up. The heart and the sacral were connected. Oh, I broke it. Sorry. Okay, so they were like this. They were connected like this in the middle. Connecting your heart to your power creates so much more power, allowing your voice to be the very thing that floods your field, allowing your voice to add to your survival and your growth. Ooh, what's up? What's up? And allowing your crown as well as your heart to be the very thing that leads to what you say. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Sacral overflowed right here and right here. The sacral overflowed. Allow your love for family to empower you because you are your own family. Within yourself exists a family of identities of all the lives that you've lived. If you're seeking family and you can't find one in an earthly form, no, you have an entire fucking family living within you. You have an entire fucking spiritual village living inside of you. So what you going to do about it? You gonna pretend they're not there? You want to pretend you're normal? I'll tell you one last thing before I go. All of you who consistently join me, all of you who find yourselves binging on my videos, love you. How could you tolerate so much of me like that? All of you who do this, who can't get enough of this need to satisfy your curiosity as to what I will say next, um, y'all aren't fucking normal. You're not normal. You're not average. You're divine. You are a divine reflection of my internal divinity. I'm surrounded by the most beautiful people, even just online. 95% at 859, 95859. God changing the merger to change the God. God changing the merger. What am I trying to do? Am I trying to merge with someone outside of me, or am I merging with myself, my parts, to change the God? I love that. I love that. We're all gods made into flesh. Not only are you God made into flesh, at one point before you were born, someone prayed you into existence, and it didn't have to be your parent. There was at least one soul either preparing to inhabit a body and have an earthly experience, or one that already was in that earthly experience. Their pain, their loneliness cried out to Creator and prayed you into being. How could you ever not value the gift that you are? How? I don't know. We do until we don't. So choose not to. That simple. If you could please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Be not normal with me. Be not normal with me. What temple are you talking about? Did I mention a temple? Elohim? Elohi? No, I didn't mention a temple. Not that I remember. Sorry. Gotta go. Love you guys.